Hey guys, happy Wednesday. It's so good to connect with you all. I'm so sorry I didn't post last week. It's taken me 2 weeks to transcribe the short session that I have to share with you today because of how manic and chaotic it is in our house at the moment, having my 2 young children with me 24/7. So the last time I connected with you guys, it was coming up to 3 weeks that we had been on official quarantine in the UK. And I think after I recorded the first video that night, we were told that we were going to be locked down for another 3 weeks. And it was a really hot day. And me and my husband, we were like, I can't do this anymore. It's getting really crazy. We just felt really pent up, really trapped. We've just been told we've got another 3 weeks. So we were like, we need to do something. What can we do? We sat thinking. And then my husband said, why don't we set the tent up in the garden and just camp out tonight in the garden? We're in our garden. Let's just set the tent up. And I was like, yeah, I think that's a good idea. So the kids were really excited. So my husband set the tent up and we grabbed all of our sleeping bags and duvets and all trudged out into the garden. And our garden's that small that when this tent was up, it took the entire garden. So we're like all trying to teeter around the edge of the garden to get inside this tent. And the kids were so excited, and so we started off doing like little dinosaur shapes and things on the tent walls, like crocodiles and all that kind of thing, and they thought it was amazing. It's the little things. And we brought a bucket down from the house that we had to wee in the middle of the night, and the kids thought that was great. And that bucket got used, let me tell you. Whew, freezing in the middle of the night. And then when the sun started to dip and go down a little bit, we let the kids have a look at the stars that were out. And my youngest was just mesmerised. It was worth it just for that. It was so beautiful. Anyway, eventually, around about 9 p.m, which is late for 2 little ones, their batteries just ran out and they just flagged, went to sleep. Took them all up in the little sleeping bags with a duvet on top as well. And then me and my husband were like, what should we do now? We're trapped in this tent. The kids are literally there. What should we do? And we were like, oh yeah, we didn't really think this through, did we? So then we just went, oh, should we go to sleep then? Yeah, okay then, night night. Yeah, well that didn't happen because we live in a market town, and the famous thing about our town is that it has a crooked spire on the church. I should know this, shouldn't I? I've lived here all my life. It was made of something that was too heavy. It might be iron. And because they made it out of the wrong material, the steeple has twisted. Twisted steeple. Anyway, that's by the by. I don't know why I'm telling you that. But this flipping crooked spire that is the, iconic thing about our town rings every hour. So we heard the first 9 rings at 9 p.m. Oh, and they're loud. They're really loud. And I listened to every single bong. Every hour that steeple bonged. And the last set of bongs I remember hearing was 3 a.m. And it was freezing. And my husband was asleep snoring. He was out. My husband, I swear to God, he can sleep in any situation. Me, no. It was so loud, and I was listening to all of the sounds of nature, which was amazing. But I literally just couldn't sleep. Meditated, but yeah, I was still wide awake at 3 a.m. And then around about, I don't know, it must have been 3:30 in the morning, I must have fallen to sleep. And then I got woken up when the sun rose by the sound of the birds. And it was the most incredible experience. I can't even really put it into words. It was like I became aware of the sound of all these birds. And it was the most glorious sound. How they were all individually doing their own thing, but collectively it made this like symphony. And because I was deliriously tired, because I'd not had any sleep because of this flipping steeple, I was like in this amazing state where it was almost like I was on drugs. And these birds, it was like I was in a bubble with these birds. And it was just absolutely amazing. The sound of that bird song, it lifted my soul. And I really, really needed that. I really needed that after everything that's happened over these past few weeks. I needed to hear the sound of God, basically. The sound of God, the sound of nature, the sound of the beauty of nature. And spending that night out in our freezing garden, laid on the floor, so literally laid on top of Gaia, totally reset my frequency. And I've felt absolutely amazing since doing that. So I cannot recommend it enough. If you have a tent and you have a bit of garden that you can put the tent up in, sleep out, allow Gaia to reset your frequency. Or don't sleep in my case, just lay there all night, freezing cold. But it works. And my frequency is reset. And it was like the boost of that frequency reset was the birds at the end. Hearing the birds in the morning was superb. And since then, I mean, we don't watch TV anyway. We do have one, but we don't watch it. We might put it on occasionally if there's some sense of urgency, but we don't watch it. So the TV's not been on. I've not been going on YouTube. I've not answered any of my emails or messages or comments, so I do apologise. But I've been doing an experiment for the past 2 weeks, and I've totally unhooked from social media. After that night in the garden where I did the camping and I felt like I had a download from Gaia, I have been working on my vegetable garden, and me and the kids and my husband have been so busy. We've been working so hard. All of the seedlings that were in the house, we've repotted outside into big pots. We got all of that set up in the garden. We set the greenhouse up. We've got all of the new plants that we've grown moved into the greenhouse, and we've started digging over the little postage stamp of land that we've got. So we can't do any more camping now. We've started digging that over to get vegetables actually into the ground. So I've got loads more seedlings growing in the house, trying a few more exotic things this time. This time I've got aubergines and rhubarb growing. And it's just amazing. My sprout plants are doing really well. My cauliflower, my broccoli. It's incredible. So for the past 2 weeks, connecting with Gaia through the camping, connecting with Gaia through planting, lots of meditation, and also a new obsession has arose, and that is wind chimes. I was in the garden and I could hear the sounds of the birds, and I could feel the warmth of the sun, and I could feel my hands in the cold earth, and I was just given the information you need some high frequency chimes in the garden. It'll lift your vibration even more. It's also a level of protection as well, because the high frequency, the sounds, the nasties don't like it. So this week I've been obsessed with buying wind chimes. Oh my goodness. I've got every kind of wind chime you've ever known in your life. My credit card bill is going to be absolutely horrendous. And I'm not working, so I can't pay it. Oh dear. Yeah. So they're all hung up outside. My kids absolutely love them. They're all jumping up, bonging the wind chimes, and just the sound of the music. Superb, absolutely superb. And I've got loads more crystal grids set up outside, and I've brought some of the fairies, because we've got lots of fairy ornaments in the house. We brought some of those from inside the house to outside the house. The garden's looking really good. It's a high frequency space, so we're taking that frequency out. And I feel like this is helping Gaia wherever we are stationed as our little lighthouses, doing that work to connect with the land in that area and raise the frequency in the area that you are in. It's really, really helping Gaia right now. So that's pretty much what I've been doing for the past 2 weeks. And I feel great. I would recommend it to everybody. Switch off your TVs, connect with nature, get planting, get your hands and your feet in the earth. And if you can, have a little camping trip in your garden and lay your body on top of Gaia, and she will reset your frequency and make you feel amazing. So since doing that, I've obviously been on social media, and prior to doing that, I was getting quite triggered by everything, and my light warrior was coming out. Since doing that, it's totally chilled me out. I feel really at peace now, and when I do go onto social media, I can clearly sense and see now that the stuff that was triggering me before is just the matrix, and now I'm back outside of it again, and I can see the 5D consciousness. And I also feel like I have an ability now to tell who's telling the truth and who isn't, which is an amazing skill, especially when I'm trying to work out which one of my kids is telling me the truth. I feel so much more connected to the planet. And yeah, if you're struggling, if you're feeling like all of the information is triggering you, step back, switch everything off, and take a week out, and I can guarantee to you it will reset your frequency and it will make you feel so much better. I feel buzzing now, and I want to maintain that frequency. So until this crazy dip of more of the collective finding out what's going on this planet, whilst we get through this dip, I'm going to be staying away as much as I can from social media. So if I don't respond to your messages, I am sorry. I will get back in touch with you at some point. What else do I have to tell you? I bought myself a new plant this week, which I'm very excited about. It looks a bit like William, my plant that I had, that I absolutely loved, that died, but it's even bigger. So it's like a huge fern. So that was quite exciting. That was a highlight of my week, when I went into the supermarket shop. Very low energy in the supermarket this week. One of my goals is always to try and make a few people smile, a few people laugh, and have a really good conversation with at least one person whilst I'm there. And people were very, very difficult to open up this week. Most people will back away. That's what I found. And, it's a friendly place where we live. People are used to chatting to each other. But at the moment, it really felt... it was difficult for me to go shopping this week. It felt very low frequency. And nobody was responding to my frequency. They just wanted to get the hell away from me. So I'm really, really hoping that we're going to have a breakthrough soon, and the frequencies in the supermarket are going to start feeling a little bit better. What else do I have to tell you? Oh, I painted my kitchen as well. that was good. If you've got any paint hanging around and you want to change the energy in your house, I painted my kitchen yellow, and it was white, but it wasn't white. It was like a disgusting splattered mildew, horrendous. It's the worst room in our house because it was the last one. It's the next one to be decorated, if you know what I mean. It's the oldest one. And I always think kitchens, because they get so much things splattered on them, you have to decorate them quite frequently. So I've decorated that. It's a beautiful, vibrant lemon now, and I've got loads of green plants in there, and it's lifted the energy of the house even more, which is great. So if you've got any old paint hanging around and you want something to do, paint something. It will make you feel so much better. I've got this urge as well to start painting murals. I don't know how my husband's going to feel about that. I haven't run that one past him yet. I might start in here. Because this is my domain. He's got no jurisdiction in here. I might start painting a mural or something in here. I don't know, I've just got this urge to paint. I want to be creative. So if any of you guys are feeling the same urges, wind chimes, painting, creativeness, let me know. So I do have a session to share with you today. It's only a small one. There isn't any shift information in this one because I always share my shift information as soon as I am able to after I've had that session, because that's very, very urgent and it's the stuff that people are interested in. So this particular session today, I went through all of my clients and found this session. It's a galactic one, that's why I'm sharing it, because it's not a normal Earth life, it's a galactic one. But I wanted to share it because I feel like at some point soon, I mean, they even announced UFOs are real recently in the past couple of days, the Pentagon. And this is how crazy our Earth is at the moment. They announced that UFOs are real and everyone's like, whatever. Because we've all known for ages that UFOs are real. Just because those idiots have decided to officially tell us that they're real, what we're supposed to do? Jump up and down and go, oh, thank you so much, thank you so much. We already know they're real. So anyway, it feels like at some point soon there's going to be disclosure. And as I was going through my sessions, I found this one, and it's a nice short session that gives an idea of what a galactic life that, let's say, is normal is like. Most of the sessions that I share normally that are galactic are super, super extra special, galactic wars or something really, really, really big and high energy and action, action, action. This appears to be a galactic lifetime that one could say is an example of a normal galactic lifetime. I mean, who knows? Who knows what a normal galactic lifetime is? But it seems as if one could assume that that's what it is. So I transcribed it, and I'm going to share it with you guys today. Here we go. So this was the second lifetime that this lady went into. She did a normal Earth life, and then when I moved her out of that life onto spirit side, she experienced herself raising up, and she felt like she turned into an angel. And the sense of peace and euphoria and oneness and unity that she got when she left that Earth lifetime and she returned to Source was just incredible. And then I moved her even further back in her soul journey to an earlier lifetime, pre-Earth, and this is where she went. I feel like I'm in a control room, not a computer room, but with lots of panels and things. Tell me about that. People are adjusting the controls and pushing buttons, and there's screens. And as you look at those screens, what's on those screens? I'm trying to see. There's lots of arms in front of the screens, people's arms. So I give her a suggestion that will help her in hypnotherapy. As you look at those arms, the images on the screens will become clearer. And then she says, it's a green and black uniform. So she's referring to the arms that she can see. And if you look down at yourself in this place, from your point of perception, what do you look like? I look like they do in their uniform. And then she laughs. It's like Star Trek-y. It's a very Star Trek-y uniform. If you look at your hands, what do your hands look like? Kind of human, but not. They're longer and skinnier and greyer. Is the skin grey? Yes, it's like a greyish green. What about the rest of you? What does the rest of you look like? I'm tall and thin. I don't know if I'm a woman or what. I don't know what I am. What does it feel like to be in that body? Good. I feel strong. Does everybody else in that place look like you? I can't see their faces from where I am, only their arms. I feel like a junior here and they are seniors. So I'm going to mention at this point, everybody has a different way of going into QHHT. Everybody has a different way of seeing. This lady is seeing actually in the body. So she's in the body, so she can't see her own face. She can't see the faces of the people because they've got their backs to her, or she can see as their arms. Some people, when they experience QHHT, they will see things as a series of images. That's how I experience it. I see an image and then I get a real sense of knowing, a feeling that a certain thing is happening that connects to that image. And then the next image comes and I piece it all together. Sorry. But it's not real, this one. It's beautiful, isn't it? Got glitter in the centre. Love it so much. Sorry. I do things like this. My husband will just find me staring at things in the house. He's like, what are you doing? I'm like, isn't it beautiful? It's so beautiful. I've totally forgot what I was saying now. I've totally lost my thread. Yeah, so people they connect in QHHT in different ways. Some people don't see much visuals at all, but they get huge waves of emotion and they know what it is that's happening. This lady goes in body, so she's actually experiencing it in real time. So I give her a suggestion then that I'm hoping is going to help her in hypnotherapy. As we go along, everything will get clearer and sharper, and you'll begin to see the faces of the people working around you. As you look around in this place, what are you aware of? The main man, I can see him now. He's dark with a dark beard. He's operating the controls. Tell me about him. He's very manly, a lot of dark hair and beard. He seems like he's the authority. What colour is his skin? Same as mine. Grey-green. His eyes are really bright and sharp. She sounds like she's got a lot of admiration for this guy. What colour are his eyes? They're light, very, very light. Beautiful. This place where you are, this control room, tell me more about that. It feels like it's a flight tower. You know, with all the windows around, like a circle. If you go to the place in this flight tower where you can look outside, what can you see outside of that flight tower? Nothing. It's just black. So as the image sharpens up, as you examine it, Does that blackness feel like it is space? Yes, yes it does. So is this some form of control room in space? Yes, yes it is. What are the types of beings that come to this control room where you are? So then she starts looking around and she says, everyone is just working, it's just normal, nothing's crazy, people are just observing. Tell me more about that. What is it that you feel they are observing? I'm not sure, but I feel I'm here to learn, and I'm learning through observing. Tell me what it is that you're learning. As you look around, it will come to you as a wave of knowing. I'm learning how to observe. I see. And this observation that you do, why is that necessary? Why do you need to learn how to observe? I've got to be patient and see. Tell me more about that. I'm hanging around to learn. Well, as you are hanging around, what are you seeing? I'm just watching this man with his buttons and his screen. What is it that he's doing? Tell me about him. He's in charge. He's strong and calm. He's just doing his job. I'm just watching him. How do you feel as you watch him? I feel good. Everyone's calm and I'm just watching him. So I'm thinking, feels like we've bled that scene dry. We're not going to get any more information out of that scene. I've tried several ways round to get her to tell me more information, and it's almost like she can't, because her entire focus is simply observing this guy and learning from him how to observe. So I close that scene and I move her to the next important scene in this lifetime. I'm leaving now. I've grown up a little bit. Tell me more about that. I've got something to do now. It's time to go. I've done learning. Now that learning has been completed, tell me what happens next. I'm saying goodbye. I'm just running through a few things and making sure that everything is in order, and I'm just saying goodbye. Do you know who you are saying goodbye to? The big man, the one who's in charge. And what does he say or do as you say goodbye to each other? He's nodding and he shakes one of my hands with both of his hands. Tell me what happens next now you've said goodbye. We're going down a stairwell now, like a metal, windy one, like in a tower. Yes, I think I was in a tower. It's winding, winding, winding. Is there just you in that stairwell? Yes. Okay, keep going and let me know what happens when you get to the bottom. It feels like I'm on the ground level now, and there's people there. And then all of a sudden, I was listening to this when I was transcribing it, and it made me laugh. She's talking to me, and she's saying, I feel like I'm on the ground level now, and there's people there. Then all of a sudden she goes, yeah, great mate, yeah. Like, so she's in it. She's talking to me, telling me what's happening, but she's also greeting other people as she walks past them. Now she's got on this ground level. She's like, yeah, I'm really fine. Yeah, how are you? Yeah, and I'm like, oh my God, that's amazing. I love my job. I absolutely love it. I'm chatting to somebody in hypnotherapy who's literally, her consciousness is in another lifetime, chatting to other aliens, going, yeah, mate, I'm all right. Yeah, how are you? So she says, I feel like I've just got out of school or something. Everyone's just milling around. It looks a bit like a warehouse, a flight centre where planes go, like a flight hangar. It's open, big and high. And as you look around, tell me what else you see as you make your way out. There's different people in different uniforms milling around. Feels like a flight hangar, but more modern. What other uniforms do the other people have on? They are light blue and green. So whereas she said before their uniforms were black and green, these people's uniforms are light blue and green. Yeah, it's definitely like aeroplane type things. As you walk along, does everybody that you see look like you? Because I'm trying desperately to start to get her to acknowledge her form. Because thus far, we know she's gone into some sort of galactic body, but she will not see faces. She will not give me any more information about the form. This normally happens when the form is very, very different to our form. And psychologically, the consciousness slowly drips until the consciousness is ready to accept the new form. And then at that point, the client will see it. So I'm trying to encourage her to get to that point. So does everybody look like you? Yes, they've all got grey-green skin, but I still can't see facial features. Ooh, that's a tongue twister. For some reason, I can't see their faces. And like I've just mentioned, it's normally because the mind blocks the face out because it's not psychologically ready to see the new form. And then she goes off on a tangent and says, the things here are definitely a craft of some sort. Tell me what they look like. A bit like planes, but really high tech, very different. We're doing something, but it's all calm, it's all easy. Tell me what happens next. I'm getting ready to go, and everyone is milling around and doing preparations. What is everyone doing? Oh, I think I'm going to go in that craft. And she sounds sort of a combination of shocked, surprised, and excited. Tell me about that. Where are we going? She sounds really unsure here. She's freaking out. She's like, I know I'm supposed to go in that craft. I don't know where I'm going. I'm freaking out. So I give her a suggestion and say, you'll find out as you go along. Everybody around you is calm. Just allow everything to flow. Just tell me what happens next. I'm getting in the cockpit now. Do you get in by yourself or with someone else? By myself. Tell me what happens. I get in. It's tight. I close the glass-looking dome door. We're in. And then she says under her breath, here we go. Tell me what happens next. Now I'm switching switches and I'm firing it up. Good. As you switch those switches and fire it up, then what happens? The back door of this huge hangar is opening now, and I'm getting this craft out. Tell me how you do that. Ooh, it's power. There's a lot of power here in this craft. And then she starts laughing and goes, "Whoa! I'm doing it. I'm really doing it. I'm so high above the ground already in this tiny cockpit. You can feel the power. I'm being guided out of the hangar. I think we're going to go." And then she laughs again and she goes, "I like it." Tell me what happens. Talk me through it. We're just rolling. Are you queuing up to go out? Yes, we've got the lights. What happens now? Now we're going to go. We're going to go. We're taking off. We're taking off. Tell me what happens as you take off. It's really strong and really powerful. I did it! Oh my God, I'm freaking out. I did it. Oh my God, I did it. It's like a plane, but it's like supersonic or something. Where am I going? I don't know where I'm going. I'm being guided. It's okay, I'm being guided. I'm following. It's black. It's sky. It's like it's black. It's dark. I'm there now. I'm there. I did this. I can't believe I did this. That's amazing. So we get to experience somebody in a galactic lifetime who's flying a spacecraft for the first time, and they're freaking out because they don't really know what they're doing, but they do. They've had the training, but they've never physically, practically done it before. So I thought that was superb, because to experience that in real time. So then I say to her, now you're in space in this little craft, tell me what happens next. I'm just amazed that I did this. I can't believe that I did this. I got trained, but this is different when you actually do it. I'm just cruising now. I'm just high on the idea that I actually did this. And I don't know what I'm doing. But maybe I do. I don't know where I'm going. And then she starts to freak out again. So I say, allow it to unfold, and you'll see where you're going. Allow everything to flow. I'm just looking at the stars and space, and I'm thinking, wow, is this real? What do the stars and space look like? Amazing, amazing, just like you have dreamed. Can you see any planets where you are? I'm just starting to see, just everything. Stars are bursting and dying and being born. There's those images that you've always just dreamt about. The planets are fadey when you look at them in the sky, but you know that they're just going to appear. Things I have only seen before in my dreams. It's like it's all coming into life. It's all coming into view. Tell me more about that. I feel that I'm not too far away from Earth. It's not really that far, but I think we have planets that are closer to us that have come into view. Those planets that have come into view, do they have any colour? Yes, there's a pinky gold one near me right now, like an ambery colour. Bigger than you would think, because they are closer now. Now that you are closer, what do? It's like a cruise. It's just enjoyable. I don't have an agenda. I'm just cruising. I feel like a kid who just got their driving license, and I'm out for the first time, and I'm thinking, what the heck? I don't know what I'm doing, but this is amazing. I'm just thinking about that. Oh my goodness, can you imagine? Like the equivalent of like a galactic driving test, and you've got your license and you're out for the first time. I mean, just imagine that. It took me 4 attempts to pass my driving license. 4 attempts. And I think the examiner only passed me on the 4th go because they felt sorry for me because I'd been made redundant that day. I think if that hadn't have happened, I probably still wouldn't have got my licence now. So I don't think I would have been cruising with her at this point. I'd probably still be in the cockpit training with the bearded guy, watching the screens. But she's got her licence, she's out. So this is like the equivalent of them passing their driving test, and she's flying around looking at all of the planets and the stars bursting and dying. Oh my goodness. This session, actually, I love this session. For my soul, this is beautiful. So I say to her, do you get any sense of what it is that you're tasked with doing now you're out there in space? No, it's just fun. I feel like a learner, and now I get to go out, and I'm just cruising around. I'm just cruising around space. So now you're out there in space for the first time, driving your own spaceship. What are the things that you see that you didn't expect to see? What's your biggest impression? The bursting lights. The bursting lights. They are so beautiful. The planets are fadey. They have like little glows around them. They're there, but they're fadey. They're not as bright. But there's lots of lights going off. And I'm like a kid playing with a toy, and I'm dipping and swooshing. But I'm not scared. I've always dreamt of this, and now I'm really doing it. Go ahead and condense time. Condense time to the point in time where you get to where you need to be on this mission. Be there now. I've got big books, ledgers in front of me. There's other people there, but I'm at the table now, and I'm talking. I'm showing other people now. What is it that you're showing them? I'm folding out the books, and I'm explaining to the other people. And these books that you are showing the other people, what do you feel is in there? They're observations of the universe. And this is later now, as I've been doing this work for a long time. Observations of the universe. I see, tell me more. Now I'm informing the others. And what is it that you are letting them know? It's quite mathematical, numbers and locations, about what's out there in the universe, but in numbers. It is all laid out mathematically. This is my observations. And what is out there? Tell me more about that. We're keeping track about the space around us. And I say, I see. So you're wanting to know if the space around your planet changes? So you're keeping a track of it mathematically in terms of the dimensions of space around your planet? Tell me more about that. What comes to mind when you think about home? It feels like it's dark there. It's not daylight ever. Is that because you don't have a sun where you are? Yes, we don't have a sun. When you think about yourself and your people, what do you feel that your people look like? Grey, green, dull, smooth but with no details. We don't have much definition. Everyone is in their uniform. I'm older now, more senior now, and I've studied this for a long time. What information do you give to the others about your work? I'm showing them the changes. We're monitoring the locations and the changes. What has changed since you started your work, your observations of the universe? The planets are coming into vision more. Whether that is closer or not, I don't know, but they are coming into vision more. Everything is very matter of fact and calm. What impact will that have on your people, that the planets are coming into vision more? We get to experience that, and we get to see it. We've always known that that is happening. I know that now. I can see that it is happening. And what is it that enables the planets to come into vision more? Is it the planets changing their frequency? Everything is getting closer, but it has been forever, and we just monitor it. It's very mathematical and calculated, methodical, long-term work. How do you feel when you do your job? It's a long study, an important study. What will be done with this study? What will they do with it? It will be kept for us to review and make decisions. So then I close that scene and I drift and float her to another important day in this lifetime. It's a thank you celebration. I'm celebrating something. I'm a senior now, and it's like a ceremony. Everyone's gathered around and they're all saying thank you to me. I think I've finished now. I've done my time. What does that mean for you? And this is like how I interpret this is like our equivalent of retirement. So this being in a normal galactic life, their job is to fly around, map all of the planets, map the changes in the universe, and take that information back to their planet. And now they've done enough time in this job, they're classed as a senior, they get to retire, so they don't have to do it anymore. And so I say, what does that mean for you? I did good work. We did it. What are you aware of as this happens? Everyone is saying thank you and goodbye. I'm happy. I'm content. And as you connect with these people who thank you, what do they look like? They have waxy, smooth faces, and everybody grabs the arm with 2 hands. There's no hugging. We don't hug here. Grabbing the arm with 2 hands is like a hug. So then I drift and float her to the last day in this lifetime. And she says, it's the end of my life now, and I'm in a room that's like a little chamber. There's a few people coming in, and it's got like a dome roof ceiling. There's a bed. I have a few visitors, but I'm happy. It's the end of it. It's finished. It's time to go now. So I say to her, go ahead and move to the point in time where you move your essence out of that physical body and move to the other side and look back down at the body. And I want you to tell me when you've done that and what you see. And she says, I went in a tube. I can see that I'm older now. I feel like I was a man. It's hard as we don't have detailed faces or features. So now I'm starting to think at this point in the session, oh, so maybe it's not psychologically that she's not ready to see her form. Maybe it's that these guys don't really have many features at all, facially, to see. She keeps saying very waxy, very, there's hardly any features on the face. And then also she said that she's in a place where it's dark, it's never daytime, it's always nighttime. Very interesting. I'd love to know more. But obviously in QHHT you only have a certain amount of time. Can't keep people under for longer than 2 hours, and people always bring a lot of questions with them that they want answering, so you must allow an hour for those questions to be answered with the higher self. So you only get an hour to do this exploration. That's why so many people come for multiple sessions, because they get to see so much more. And if they want to see more detail on a specific lifetime that they've seen before, we can take them back to that lifetime and they can revisit it and get greater detail from that experience. So she says that she goes up in a tube. So I say, as you go in that tube, what do you experience? It's like a vacuum, almost like a suction. It feels fast, like poof. And where does that take you to? The light, space. Tell me more. I feel like nothing. No physical anything. Are you aware of yourself? Do you feel like energy? Yes. And if you become aware of the energy that you are, does your energy have a colour? Yes, I'm like a light purple. Very light purple. Beautiful. And what does it feel like now as that light purple energy? Good. It feels good. Free. Freedom. And then at that point we said goodbye to that person, to that entity, and we left them where they are. And I brought her higher self through to answer her higher self questions. So that's the end of that session segment for you today. I will carry on searching through my sessions and see if I can find some more galactic snippets for you. It'll take me another 2 weeks though to transcribe because I have the kids with me all the time. And my priority, first and foremost, is as a mother to my children. But I will post again in a couple of weeks once I've found another session that I think is worthy of sharing. So what do I have to say before I leave you today? Quarantine was hard to start off with, but now I'm used to the change of pace, and I really do believe that whilst this has been set in motion by the darkness, that the light, as always, is winning, and the light uses these circumstances to grow and shine even brighter. And what's happening with us being locked in our houses, we're connecting more with our loved ones, with our families. The love increases for the loved ones that you don't get to see on a daily basis. So the love is growing there. You're connecting more to nature because you're in your gardens. You're spending more time energizing your space where you are, because that's pretty much all you have to do. You're nurturing your gardens, you're nurturing your homes. We're meditating more, which is so important and necessary at the moment. And I would say, please, if you're not doing it, as a light worker, light warrior, starseed, truther, nice person, please meditate more. Put yourself in a pyramid of white light protection. Open your crown. Bring the lighter source down through the body, cleansing all of the chakras, bringing down any downloads that are available to you. Bring the light down through your feet, down into Gaia. Connect with Gaia's crystalline, beautiful core, and draw that frequency out and shoot it around the planet, connecting all light workers. Bring that frequency to New Earth, spend time on New Earth, bring it back from New Earth, back to where we are. We're going to be there before you know it. This quarantine has done wonders for Ascension because it's woken so many more people up who were fast asleep in the Matrix. It's woken so many people up. So now we have more awakened people, more people searching for truth, more people to tip the balance to get this ascension on. So the best things that you can do as light warriors, light workers, light houses, is maintain your frequency. That is so important right now. Maintain your personal frequency and shoot that frequency out everywhere, because we are literally holding the planet right now. We're holding the frequency on the planet. Do not let anything affect your frequency. If you feel that your frequency is being affected by anybody, by anything, by social media, by TV, by the news, switch it off. I don't just mean for the day, switch it off for a week. Meditate, get out in nature, have amazing baths, work with crystals, sing, dance, be creative, paint, draw, write. And after a week, when you switch that social media back on, you'll look at it and you'll just want to laugh at it because its hold over you has disappeared. That is a really, really brilliant thing you can do. And I had a little bit of a moment whilst I was getting ready this morning where I had something come to me, shall we say. And it's almost like we are the white blood cells in the body of Gaia right now. And the darkness is, a parasite, a virus, a fungus, whatever, that has been trying to systemically take over this planet. And we are the white blood cells, and we are fighting back. And when I Googled one of the functions of white blood cells, it says white blood cells destroy particular pathogens by clumping them together and destroying them. They produce an antitoxin that counteracts the toxins released by pathogens. So as the darkness is releasing all this toxicity, this negativity that's spreading, we are the white blood cells, and we have to produce that antitoxin right now in order to fight off that darkness, that pathogen. and take this planet back as a healthy cell in the body of the universe. And so as white blood cells, our antitoxin that we produce that neutralizes the toxicity of the negative dark ones, it's love and it's light. Be love, be light, and shine always. Now more than ever, it has never been more important for light workers to maintain their frequency and their vibration. We are literally holding Gaia and allowing that new earth plane to be birthed in physicality in the world that we see. So hold your frequency, hold your light, hold your love. Do not allow yourself to be triggered by anything, anyone. Know that the light always wins, that good always triumphs over evil, and that we are the light. Until the next time that I see you, make sure, now more than ever, that you keep vibrating high. That is your sole focus. This is why we came. This is one of the most critical, important points in the birthing of New Earth, that we hold the high frequency, and we hold it now. Lean on your brothers and sisters of the light. We're all in the same boat. Connect with the true light workers that you know are good and steady. My beautiful soul sister Yvette Shepherd has helped me no end this week. She's such a true, good light worker. And reaching out to our brothers and sisters of the light will help us all get through this together. Hold your frequency, hold your light, because we are literally birthing New Earth into physicality right now. Be there for the normies when they wake up, and they are waking up by the thousands. This is truly a wonderful, special time to be alive. And in future years, when we look back on this time, we will smile and we will say, wow, can you believe we did that? And we're doing it. Until the next time I see you, which will probably be in around a couple of weeks, 2 weeks, keep vibrating high. I love you all so much. Hug a tree this week. See you later. Bye.